Hey!
All right, here we are.
Again! And welcome once again, Bobby.
Welcome.
It's good to be here. Beautiful stage behind us.
Beautiful stage
Which
behind
means
us.
we're talking about speaking, right? So if we have a
Talking about
castle,
speaking.
once in a while we go to Switzerland or Germany and we sit in front of our castle. When we're in front of our stage, we're talking about speaking. So we are a speaking group. We are SpeakUp.
Professional Speakers Studio.
Yeah, and that's really cool. So people that are speakers, trainers, coaches, wanting to get better, people that want to learn to monetize their message,
Yep.
all those wonderful things, you come here and we're going to share great ideas with you about speaking.
Yep. Awesome. Awesome.
It is. And one
I'm
of the
a man
things...
of many words today.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Awesome. Cool.
Really great speaker Bobby is right now.
Yeah.
Bobby's going to show you the things not to do. Yeah. No, it's good.
Yes.
So, when we have this stage behind us, for example, we've talked about this before. The stage is your asset.
Yes.
And you need to be on that stage. That's your asset. If you're a speaker or a trainer, and it may not be on a stage, maybe it's in a classroom situation or whatever, but that is your asset.
You need to be speaking. You
Yeah.
need to be getting up in front of people.
Yeah, and engaging, and that's where you're going to make your money, by being in that in that process. So we're excited to be able to share good ideas with you about speaking and how to help your speaking business grow. Now, a lot of these things we talk about, and today's is a very good example of that.
Mm-hmm.
is usable in all kinds of industries, not just
speaking. Yeah.
So
these are business principles.
yeah. Sometimes we're going to talk specifically about speaking things,
Mm-hmm.
but most of the time, even with speaking, because people have to communicate in business, most of these things relate to everybody.
Yeah, everybody in some. I mean, we all do communication, so in some
Yeah.
form or fashion, we are speaking in front of groups. If you're a business owner or what have you, you're still going to be speaking in front of people, and you
Right.
probably need to understand and know kind of the nuances of how to connect with your audience, whoever that may be. Maybe that's you just pitching a deal or what
Right.
have you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So we want to start off, as we normally do, and talk a little bit about a speaker, somebody that we know has made it big and famous in the communication world
Mm-hmm.
in some fashion or another. And
We got a good one today.
today's person is somebody who walks on fire.
And he gets a lot of other people to walk on
Yeah.
fire.
Yeah. So if you've ever been to one of his programs, you know exactly who I'm talking about. But if you haven't, it is Tony Robbins. Or Anthony Robbins, however you want to do it. But he goes by Tony most
I
of
always
the time.
get confused about Anthony Robbins, Tony Robbins.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So, it's been a long time when I very first heard of Tony Robbins. I picked up a book called...
Personal Power?
Personal Power.
Got
That
it.
was the first one.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And then Awaken the Giant Within.
Awaken the Giant Within.
Both of those were tremendous. I remember...
Oh, I think I have that one right over there somewhere.
you?
Yeah.
On the stage?
Bookshelf. Yeah. Well, it's back to that.
behind the stage.
Yeah, behind the stage, yes.
So I remember I didn't spend a whole lot of time reading much in high school.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't a reader in high school. But later on, when I got married and started my career and so forth, that was one of the first books I ever really picked up that was just blew me away, and I got hooked. I got hooked on personal development,
Yeah.
which is exactly what Tony Robbins would want me to do, is get hooked on his book, right?
Yes.
So it was just a powerful,
Was that before the infomercials, or was that after?
it might have been during
Right
the infomercials.
Mhm.
It was like 1984 or 5, somewhere in that neighborhood. Somewhere in that
I
neighborhood.
remember the late night ones, starting the late night ones. I was always a night person. And
Yeah.
He got me. I'm like, whoa, this guy is powerful, man.
Yeah.
Oh.
So he came out of, it seems like nowhere. Obviously, everybody kind of comes out of nowhere.
Everybody pays their dues,
No,
including Tony Robbins.
like we talked about the other day.
Yes.
Doing the impossible. So Tony grew up in California.
Mhm.
At 17 years old, his mom chased him out of the house with a knife, and he never came back.
Wow.
So how is that for, getting out of your home and leaving? Your mom chases you out of the house with a knife.
Yes.
and you never return.
Yeah, you've heard stories that his home life was not the best.
Yeah, it wasn't the best.
But he'll be the first to tell you it's what created him to be the person he is today.
Yeah. And he studied
and some people use that to say, yeah, that's why I'm in prison and that's why I'm a horrible person.
Well,
so it's kind of interesting how you can look at and kind of create your own world. I'm a big fan of no excuses, be accountable.
Right.
And I think Tony Robbins was a perfect example of what it looks like when you're accountable.
Yeah.
He says, my life was hard and I took accountability and created something great.
Stepped up and made something completely different.
Yeah.
I know he was flat broke. He talks about that quite a bit. He was doing his dishes in the bathtub in a small little apartment. This guy is huge. In fact, he grew 10 inches in high school. Like in 1 year,
Wow.
he grew 10 inches. So, but you know, he went through the fire and he studied with who?
Jim Rohn, the Jim Rohn,
Yeah.
amazing personal development person. One of my personal favorites, Jim Rohn.
Yeah, and so Tony started doing the infomercials for Jim Rohn, and that's really kind of where he got started. He you know, he didn't have a college degree. And without a college degree, here he was studying psychology, and he got into neuro-linguistic programming and NLP. For those of you who have ever heard of that, so here's a guy who doesn't understand any of that.
He doesn't have an education, formal education about it.
Yeah.
It's pure psychology. It's powerful stuff. Not only does he learn it, but he learns it so well, and then a lot of people don't understand, he repackaged it and created this Tony Robbins world that was from the stuff he learned from back then. NLP is really all about personal power and connecting with that and using your imagination to connect and learn and grow. I mean, so he just learned and then packaged his own little thing and created this powerful movement.
Yeah, so there's a great tip for you, learning how to
repackage yes.
or brand something in a different way
to
create something amazing out of it. So he did, and he was also into hypnosis as well.
Which goes along with NLP.
Yeah. And then he got into the infomercials, and
we all know
he had over 100 million people watching those infomercials. 100 million people.
Wow. He was doing social media before social media existed back then.
Yeah.
This was the future of social media, those infomercials and connecting people and people watching and that stuff.
And it was again a great groundbreaking piece that he did. And you know, when you have 100 million viewers regularly watching your infomercials, and of course he was in personal development and so forth, so he sold a lot of stuff, became very famous by doing that, and you know, and the rest is history.
The rest is history.
He's got a great program that he does.
That he still does. A lot of people, he doesn't do infomercials like he used to and all that stuff, but he still has a very powerful, I don't know, for lack of a better word, practice that he still connects with people. I know every time he has an event, people pay $5,000 to be with him for a weekend. He still has a very powerful movement that he's created that's morphed. I mean, we've all seen, there's all kinds of morphing going on. You learn to pivot and do different things, and he is the king of, he's really learned and does those pivots well.
And he's really good. I've been to his event before. And I haven't been to every speaker, but a lot of these speakers that we talk about, you and I have both been to a lot of their events, and they're amazing, and it's fun to go watch them. It's fun to see how they engage and interact. But they're the real deal, and it's just amazing the following that he has. He's 56 years old, which isn't old, but certainly he's got a tremendous following and is very successful with his business continuing.
You say something interesting that we both have been to a lot of things, and we promote that everybody should go pay for trainings and learn your craft. And one of the things that I really love to do when I go, especially like a Tony Robbins, I like learning and getting what we're learning, but I love watching how they do things. If you want to really get something powerful out of a training, there's lots of free trainings out there and stuff like that. Watch the speaker. Watch how they connect, and watch everything. For the most part, is done for a reason.
Yeah.
Every single thing they do is to engage the audience, to connect, to either learn something or want to buy something more,
Right.
or what have you. It is a very powerful thing to watch those speakers. You should go to every speaking thing, the professional person that you possibly can afford.
For sure. If you're going to be a speaker or a trainer, you should be involved in those things so you can learn. And you know, if you get a chance, even take on an apprenticeship with somebody.
Oh,
go help them out. Go.
The
go be on the
greats
backstage.
did that. Yeah. Tony Robbins is a good example with Jim Rohn. A lot of them had mentors. What I'd almost say all of them.
Yeah.
Even the Napoleon Hill. Andrew Carnegie was Napoleon Hill's mentor. I mean, come on, you can't get more of a hardcore mentor than that. And people would say, "Wow, Napoleon Hill, he's the guy, you know, Think and Grow Rich." But he had many mentors too, and was studied under many studied very successful people.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So as we talk about speaking, you know, we're talking again about Tony Robbins. So take a look at what he's doing. He still has amazing programs, and you can learn from him. But find other people. Find some people that you might be able to go backstage and help, or help them set up. Or
they all need assistance, and they
do.
love using their audience
Yeah.
to people that are fans to assist them in making their movement grow. So
exactly. So today we're going to talk about
something for you.
Yeah,
a little tip for you as a speaker.
Yeah. So your audience. How do you find your audience? Who is your audience?
Who is your audience? It's everybody, Kerry. Everybody's my message is for the entire world, the entire universe, Kerry. Everybody should hear my message.
You know what? That's what we all think, isn't it? we think our message is so good that everybody wants to hear it, right?
Yes.
And maybe it is really, really good. And maybe most people could listen to it and get something out of it, obviously. But not everybody's going to listen to it. Let's just be realistic about what we're talking about here.
Abraham Lincoln said it best. You can please all the people some of the time and some of the people all the time, but you can't please all the people all the time. Well, you can't connect with all the people all the time either. You can't put your message. Some people are going to hate, for lack of a better word, hate what you're speaking or doing or think or dismiss you completely. For one, that shouldn't deter you, but for another, you should find your fans. You should be able to connect with the people that really want it. If you're into energy work, you should be connecting with people that do energy work. If you're into marketing and you want to, you need to find folks that are really excited about learning marketing. You can't be everything to everyone.
No, and you shouldn't be. I know I do training and speaking on sales. That's one of the subjects I talk about. Well, that's not a favorite subject to a lot of people. They just don't want to do it. And even salespeople don't want to do it.
But although in your business or whatever you do, without selling, you got nothing.
Right. Yeah, so if you own a business, you certainly want to. But there are a lot of people, of course, that have nothing to do with sales in their company or marketing in their company.
So they think.
Yeah, so again, it's one of those things where, I have to focus in on who that target is and not worry about the fringes that are out there as much. So
the people that really want that training, that knows, oh man, I've got to enhance my training or my selling ability. I mean, you have to find those niches.
Right.
If you want to be successful in speaking, you have to speak to your peeps,
your audience.
People, your audience.
Yeah,
yes.
Your audience. I was at a class the other day talking with a group of college students that were about ready to graduate, and we were talking on, the target, the audience that we need to really focus on. And I do a little demonstration in this class. So typically I'll bring like a little beanie bear for them to use to throw. And I ask them, now you just throw this beanie bear, and if you come close to the target, I'll tell you and you'll win a prize.
Awesome.
Yeah, really awesome. And they look at me and they go,
what?
But where do I throw it? And I'm like, anywhere. Just throw it. And if you're close, I'll give you a prize. So one of them threw it down, and I go, nope, you didn't win. Another one grabbed it, and she threw it clear across the room on the other side. And I go, no, you weren't even close. So then I pull out a target, and we lay it down on the ground. And now I say, let's see how close you can come to hitting that. That's now the target. And now one of them landed right on the bullseye. The other one landed really close, as well.
Mm-hmm.
So it made it much easier for them. They weren't throwing it around the room. So it's so
guessing.
Yeah, guessing.
Guessing.
And that's what we do with our business. So many times and speaking is the same way. We think that everybody should be using this, but we need to target. I always use the example as well. Do you ever go out shooting guns? And people will say, yeah, sure, it's fun. And I'm like, do you ever just go shoot in the air?
Shoot.
How much fun is that? Well, it's not that fun at all. Yeah, because you want a target. You want something to shoot at.
Right.
So it's really important for you to focus in on your target as your audience as well. Who are these people? So let's talk a little bit about who are they? How do we create this? What do they look like? What's the demographics? Do they live in your area? Are they male, female? Are they 18 years old? Are they 50 years old?
Are they millennials? Are they Xers?
Yeah.
All that good stuff.
All of those things. Are they working? Are they making a certain income level?
Are they looking to start their own business? Or do they need help with taxes? I mean,
yeah,
the sky's the limit. Whatever.
All of
you're
those
talking.
things you want to really narrow those down, so that now you can start pulling together the things just for those targets, because they're the ones that are. That doesn't mean, and listen to this, that doesn't mean you won't sell stuff to other people that are not part of your target. That just means your advertising dollars, if you're going to spend them, spend them on where you're going to make the money for your business.
Yeah, where the target,
and
hit that target.
Yeah.
When you hit that target, then there's residual from it.
So if you're a speaker and you're speaking on health issues, for example, are you going to focus on the healthy people or the people that need your product to help them become healthier? Now, both of them can use it, right?
Right.
But who are you going to spend the advertising dollars or marketing dollars on? The ones that are already there where you want them to be, or the ones that should be there and your product's going to take them to that level?
Absolutely. Yeah, that's great advice.
Yeah. So again, if you're speaking to this group, you need to make sure you're very targeted. You need to know who your audience is.
Yep.
How easy is it to relate to people in an audience when you're at a speaking event and you're speaking or training? How much easier is it to relate to those people if they're the right target?
It's extremely easier. It's kind of like the comedian, the really good comedians. A lot of times when they give a story about a situation that happened to them and everybody's like, oh my gosh, that's happened to me too, and you immediately laugh and you think it's hilarious, you think it's funny, it's because of the relationship that you relate to the comedian. I think it's the same thing when we're all in the same room and we have a common goal and we maybe have an expert that's up there telling us about it, we're going to be more engaged.
Yeah.
Just that simply, we're going to be more engaged.
Yeah, so we really encourage you to focus in. Now here's a good example. Here we are live, and some of the people that are going to be viewing this are not our target market. They're not
kidding me? It's not everybody on Facebook?
I think we all think that, the way we post things. I think we think everybody should do it.
There's a little bit of noise out there in social media land.
Just a little, yeah. A little way too much, actually.
Oh, yeah.
So hopefully, you'll be able to decipher this. Again, this works really well regardless of whether you're a speaker or a business owner. Understanding who your target is extremely important, and you need to get this down.
Yes.
If you don't get it down, you're going to pay the price for it. I promise you will.
Yes.
You'll be very frustrated. So Bobby, look, we have some events coming up.
Some events. We have some speaking events.
We just had one called The Message.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. That was our first one, our beta one. We'll be having that one again in March, so be watching for The Message.
So if you have a message that you want to get out, maybe you haven't spoken a lot, maybe you just want to try this thing out, get up in front of a camera, get up in front of some judges, and tell us your message. Give us something super powerful. If you have a TED Talk or something like that you just know is very moving and will connect with people, come to The Message and let's see what you got. I mean, you learn something, and you might be the next million views.
Yeah. Thinking of that, Tony Robbins is the highest viewed TED Talk after he gave his TED Talk, by the way.
Oh,
highest viewed. Highest viewed.
Wow, interesting.
Yeah. So the message is.
I haven't even watched his, and I've watched hundreds.
It's pretty. It's pretty good, actually.
Oh
it's pretty
man,
good.
I'm gonna go watch that.
So the message is a great one to come and do. Now, we have a business event. If those of you who are
business owners,
and if you're a speaker, trainer, coach, you fall into that category, by the way.
Absolutely.
So we have an event called the Business Game Changer.
Success without limits.
No limits.
No limits. No limits.
And that is next week, February 16th.
Thursday.
It's coming up fast.
Oh man, it's gonna be exciting. We're gonna have a lot of fun. But not only that, people are gonna learn some really, really powerful tools for their business.
Yeah. So
not only their business, but even professional people.
Right.
That are learning sales and marketing. You name it. There's gonna be so much powerful. I mean, we've got 8 speakers that are just gonna blow people away.
Yeah, and it's gonna be fun. Not that boring business meeting. We're talking about an event that you're going to really enjoy.
Oh, what?
Yeah, and you're going to get a chance to visit with other people that are like you, that are trying to grow their business, and you're going to take away some great things. So
do some networking.
Go to SpeakUpSpeakers.com.
SpeakUpSpeakers.com.
Or you can even, if you're watching this on Facebook, you can go right to our
events page.
Business Game Changer event page.
Business Game Changer event page.
Yeah, and man, we have some, lots of cool stuff going on, but you can get your tickets. Be sure and reach out to that and make that happen.
Let's do it.
Hey,
we'll see you there.
And if you're a speaker and you want to come and join other speakers as well.
Oh, you almost forgot that one.
Yeah, SpeakUp. We actually have an event coming up. It's a monthly event. It's the second Thursday of each month, and there is one
speakers get
tomorrow.
Together. Yeah, tomorrow.
Excuse me, Thursday.
Thursday, not tomorrow.
Tomorrow's Wednesday.
Yes.
Thursday.
It's where speakers get together. We can collaborate, connect, watch what other people are doing, hear other speakers. It's open to the public. It's and it's a free opportunity to come to currently.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We're all about speakers. Speakers, trainers, coaches, we're all about you. We're all about helping you make money, monetizing your message, and we're about helping you find that message.
So many out there with a message that's wanting to get it out.
Yeah. So come and join us. We'd love to have you. You get to listen to Bobby and
you get to listen to Gary.
So we would love to have you come out and visit with us in any of those events. If you have questions, get on our Facebook page and